Welcome to Flat Ride of the Week, episode 18. Today we'll be talking about the Top Scan. As always, if you forget something or say something that's incorrect, please politely correct us in the comment section below. Let's get started. Alright, and let's get started with the history.
This story started in 1995 with the Inferno, made by Dutch manufacturer Mondial. The Inferno was some kind of rotating arm with at the end of the arm two big, free-flipping gauntlets that face each other. The gauntlets can spin in both directions and they each fit 19 people, so it has a capacity of 38 riders per cycle. At the highest point, the Inferno is 22 meters or 70 feet tall. Only 3 Infernos have been built yet. 2 of them were built in 1995, called Newcomer and Nightfly, and one of them was built in 1996, called Airwolf. Newcomer and Airwolf are currently both in storage, and Nightfly ended up at Canada's Wonderland as Soaring Timbers. But it's running very slow over there due to problems with the gearboxes of the ride. The Inferno is still in production and it's only available as a transportable version. And then as some kind of variant on the Inferno, the Top Scan was introduced by Mondial in 1996. The Top Scan consists of an arm with at the end of the arm 6 gauntlets that each fit 5 people, so the capacity is 30 riders per cycle. The gauntlets face sideways and can flip on gravity. The 6 gauntlets can rotate both clockwise and counterclockwise, just like the arm. The arm is connected to a support that can slightly lift down to load the passengers in and out. The prototype Top Scan was bought by French showman Delaporte, and it was called Space Roller. It debuted in March 1996 at the Fun Fair in Grenoble. The Space Roller has some very minor differences from the later built Top Scans. For example, the gauntlets are heavier and the gauntlets could spin much faster than the ones later built. A lot of transportable Top Scans were built between 1996 and 2000 for many different European showmen.
And then the first Top Scan to go to the US was also called Space Roller. It was sold in 1998 to Cumberland Valley Shows, which is currently known as North American Midway Entertainment. They still travel with the Space Roller to this day, and it's one of the most popular rides that they travel with. This particular showman is most well known for being the showman for the State Fair of Texas.
And the Top Scan started to become more and more popular around 1999 in parks. The first Top Scans that were bought by parks were Samurai at Chessington Worlds of Adventure, which got relocated to Thorpe Park, and Extreme at Groenland, which was relocated to Furvik. The Top Scan is actually not available as park version and is only available as transportable version. So all Top Scans at parks are just stationary transportable rides, but in some cases the floor structure was removed, so it was kind of modified to a permanent version. And the Top Scan is still in production. And then in 2006, Mondial introduced the Diablo, which was some kind of more modern version of the Inferno. Instead of the 2 sit-down gauntlets Inferno had, the Diablo has 2 floorless gauntlets that each fit 12 people, so the capacity is 24 riders per cycle. There is currently only one Diablo built. It's called Intox, which was sold to Swiss showman AB and Bergdorf. The Intox ended up traveling in France with showman Lanare, but it was recently sold to Saudi Arabia. The Diablo is still in production and is only available as a transportable version.
And in 2017, Mondial introduced the Ventura, which is basically a park version of the Top Scan. The only difference between the Ventura and the Top Scan is the Ventura actually has gondolas that fit 6 people instead of 5, and the arm itself has a different lifting system. The first and currently only Ventura was sold in 2017 to Knott's Berry Farm. It's called Soul Spin there. The Ventura is still in production and, again, only available as a park version. And then moving on to the competition, there's not too much competition for the Top Scan. One of the biggest competitors to it is made by a Chinese manufacturer known as Nanfang. They make copies that are almost identical to Mondial's Top Scan. These copies are very popular among small and big Asian parks.
And KMG actually made something pretty similar to the Top Scan, called the X-Drive. Unlike the Top Scan, this ride had 2 4 seat gondolas at each end of the arm. So the capacity is 16 riders per cycle, and the ride actually fits on just one trailer for transport. The prototype X-Drive was sold to Dutch showman Otten, and it debuted at the fair in Volendam in 2019. There's already another X-Drive built for German showman Dynet called the Rock and Roll, which will debut when the fairs will be allowed to return after the virus.
And then on to some other facts. Another unknown Chinese manufacturer made some kind of combination of a Top Scan and a Technical Park Pegasus 30. This ride basically takes the lifting mechanism from the Top Scan and the gondolas from the Pegasus 30, and it looks like a pretty fun ride.
And in 1998, Dutch showman Van der Beek actually made a built-in-house Top Scan type of ride, called the Sound Machine. To avoid copyright problems with Mondial, they made some changes to the ride. For example, this ride has 5 gondolas that each fit 6 people, versus the Top Scan that has 6 gondolas that each fit 5 people. This was not the only ride Van der Beek built in-house. They also built some Star Flyers and the Spinball. And if you don't know what the Spinball is, then I recommend you to watch last week's Flat Ride of the Week about the move-its.
Alright, and that about wraps it up for everything we have to say about the Top Scan. A bit of a shorter episode. We're a little bit clenched for time. I've actually got a massive storm bearing down on me, so if you hear some rain or thunder, that's why. But other than that, I think that's about all we have to say about these Top Scans. Very interesting rides. I've ridden one. I've ridden the one at Carowinds, which was obviously formerly traveling in Europe before Cedar Fair bought it, along with a bunch of other used rides. And it's very fun. I thought it would be kind of nauseating. It's not at all, really. I get kind of sick on a lot of these spinny rides. Not a Top Scan. It was super fun, and if you see one, I definitely recommend you ride it. Either a Top Scan or a Ventura, both great rides. You have anything else to add, Alex?
Yeah, I want to talk about the Inferno. I got to ride the Nightfly when it was in Belgium, and it was insane. It was really a different sensation than the Top Scan. It's pretty similar as a ride, but as a sensation, it's very intense. Much more intense than the Top Scan, to be honest. But the Top Scans are still very fun to ride, and they can be very intense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here in Europe, I got a 8-minute cycle on one in France.
That's awesome.
Really good.
Alright, well, I think that about wraps up this week, and we'll see everyone next week.